Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something. You don't need a corner office, a multi-million-dollar company, or a shiny plaque on the wall to be a CEO. You don't need a team of executives, board meetings, or a suite on the 50. What you need is something far more powerful, the mindset to lead yourself like you're the most valuable enterprise on the planet, because you are. You are the CEO of your life. And until you start treating yourself like a company worth investing in, don't expect results. Don't expect peace and don't expect success to just knock at your door. CEOs don't wait to be told what to do. They wake up with purpose. They rise before the day demands something from them. They command, they adapt, and above all, they decide. And that's the first lesson right there. Decide who you're going to be and act like it's non-negotiable. The problem with most people is they're sitting around waiting for someone to crown them, waiting for motivation, waiting for permission, waiting for validation, waiting for a sign. But let me make this plain. CEOs don't wait, they initiate. They start the meeting, they open the doors. And you've got to start running your life with that same level of intention. When you lead yourself like a CEO, you stop entertaining confusion. You stop outsourcing responsibility. You stop blaming your parents, your past, your ex, your job, your situation. No more excuses. No more committees in your mind debating your worth. You are not up for a vote. You are declared. Start waking up with a strategy, not just a to-do list, but a vision. Real CEOs don't just ask, what do I need to get done today? They ask, what am I building? Who am I becoming? What does the next level of me require today? Let me tell you something. If you don't run your life like a business, life will run you like a liability. You've got departments. Mental health is your HR. Your relationships are your PR. Your time management is your operations. Your bank account is your finance department. And your spirit, that's the boardroom, the place where your deepest convictions call the shots. So let me ask you, are you leading or just surviving? Because there's a big difference. Surviving is just trying not to drown. Leading is designing the boat, plotting the course, choosing who gets on, choosing who gets off, making the tough calls with courage, even when nobody's clapping. Leading yourself means firing old habits like they're toxic employees. It means demoting fear, laying off procrastination, and putting your excuses on permanent leave. And listen, not everybody is going to clap when you start leveling up. CEOs get criticized, they get second-guessed, they get blamed when things go wrong. But you know what? They own it. They don't point fingers. They stand up, chest out, and say, this is my company, my life, my call. You want to know why some people stay stuck? It's not because they don't have potential. It's because they keep showing up late to their own destiny. They act like employees in their own story, waiting for approval, hiding behind fear, hoping someone else makes the hard decision. But a real CEO doesn't clock in. They own the building. That means you stop asking for confidence and start building it. Confidence isn't magic. It's repetition. It's discipline. It's showing up for yourself over and over until you stop flinching at your own reflection. Let me tell you, the CEO version of you is not emotional all the time, not reactive, not petty. The CEO version of you is focused, clear, grounded. They don't post to prove. They don't chase applause. They protect their time like it's gold, because it is. They guard their peace like it's royalty, because peace is the currency of power. What's your mission statement? Do you even have one? Because every great company has a vision, a reason for existing, and so should you. Write it down, tattoo it on your mindset, and every single day, make sure your thoughts, your actions, your words, your circle, your habits all align with that mission. And don't get it twisted. CEOs don't just lead when they feel like it. They lead when it's hard, when the numbers are down, when the pressure is high, when people walk out, when the storms hit. That's when real leadership is revealed. You want to lead yourself like a CEO? Then you've got to master meetings with yourself. I'm talking check-ins, daily, weekly, real review, not scrolling through fake lives online, but sitting still asking yourself, am I on track? Am I in alignment? What's the ROI of my habits? Am I growing or just going through the motions? Stop glamorizing chaos and calling it hustle. Stop bleeding energy for people who don't clap when you win. You don't owe access to people just because they've known you. You owe loyalty to your growth. And listen, even a CEO has mentors, so get you one. Stop trying to DIY your entire life. Get around people who've been where you're going, people who correct you, stretch you, call you out when you play small. You know why? Because a real leader doesn't avoid the mirror. They look dead into it and say, we're better than this. And starting now, we will be better than this. And when the setbacks come, because they will, don't panic. CEOs don't fold. They pivot. They reassess. They pull the team together, even if the team is just you, your purpose, and your God. And they say, let's go again. We don't quit over storms. We build better ships. Start investing in your personal development like it's your stock price. Every book, every podcast, every discipline you build is a deposit into your future. You are either compounding regrets or compounding results, and the choice is yours every single morning. And please upgrade your circle. Get around lions, champions, builders, people who think in decades, people who are obsessed with growth, because leadership is contagious and so is mediocrity. If they don't challenge you, they can't champion you. And if you're afraid to stand alone, you're not ready to lead anything, not even yourself. You've got to learn to say no without guilt, yes without fear, not anymore without apology. And most of all, you've got to learn how to say, I'm proud of me, without waiting for someone else to say it first. Let's be clear. Leadership is not about being perfect. It's about being accountable. It's about showing up with integrity when no one's watching. It's about treating your character like capital, because when the titles are gone and the applause fades, that's what you're left with. So I'm going to ask you again, are you leading your life or just renting it? Because too many people out here living on borrowed dreams, borrowed standards, borrowed expectations. They're running someone else's race and wondering why they're out of breath. But you're not one of them. You're not built for average. You are not made for default mode. You are designed for destiny, and it starts right now. Clock in, not for your job, but for your calling. Start showing up to your mornings like they matter. Start commanding your focus like it's sacred. Start organizing your mind, your environment, your goals, like you've got shareholders watching, because you do. Your future self is watching. Your purpose is watching. Your legacy is watching. There's no dress rehearsal. This is the show. This is your moment. You are the CEO. Lead like it. So you're ready to lead. Then understand this. Leadership doesn't show up in the spotlight. It shows up in the silence. It's not the speech on the stage. It's the decisions you make when nobody's watching. It's brushing your teeth at 6 a.m. when the bed says stay. It's closing the tab that distracts. It's turning off the TV and turning on your goal. It's showing up on days when your motivation ran dry, but your discipline held the line. That's CEO level thinking. That's internal leadership. If you were a company, would you invest in you? Would you fund your habits, your attitude, your discipline? Would you buy stock in the way you manage your time, your emotions, your energy? If the answer is maybe, you've got work to do. And if the answer is no, don't beat yourself up. Just start rebuilding. Start acting like you are the next Fortune 500. Because the truth is, you are. The most valuable asset you'll ever own is not your degree, not your job, not your car, your looks, your status. It's your capacity to lead yourself under pressure. Pressure reveals the gaps. Pressure exposes the truth. But pressure also creates diamonds. If you're willing to stand in the heat without breaking down. Now hear this, a real CEO doesn't confuse movement for progress. Just because you're busy doesn't mean you're building. Just because you're tired doesn't mean you're effective. You've got to ask, am I moving with strategy or am I just sprinting in circles? Cut the noise, cancel the drama, audit your habits like your life depends on it, because it does. Some of y'all are so loyal to your distractions, you've forgotten your destiny. So loyal to fitting in, you've forgotten you were born to stand out. You bend your standards to keep temporary people, temporary feelings, and temporary praise. That's not leadership. That's self-sabotage in a designer outfit. You've got to protect your non-negotiables. Every great CEO has them. Things they will not compromise, no matter how loud the pressure gets. Your values should not be up for debate. Your time is not community property. Your mental peace is not a donation center for every crisis that comes knocking. Start acting like your time is money, because it is. Start treating your mornings like board meetings. No interruptions, just execution. Set standards and stick to them. Set goals and report to them. You want next level results? You need next level responsibility. That means stop hiding behind I'm trying and start leading with I'm doing. Let me talk to the ones who are tired of starting over, tired of falling short, tired of watching others make it while they feel stuck in neutral. I see you. I've been you, but I've also learned this. You don't grow when it's easy. You grow when it's brutal. You grow when life humbles you. When your bank account is empty, when your heart gets broken, when you doubt yourself so bad you can't breathe. And then one day, one quiet, ordinary, brutal day, you get up anyway. And that day is when you earn your CEO badge. Not because everything is fixed, not because the path is clear, but because you chose movement over misery. You chose focus over feelings. You chose yourself even when the world didn't. That's what real leadership looks like. That's the kind of power you cannot fake. And once you taste that kind of personal authority, you'll never settle again. You'll never again ask people for permission to be great. You'll never again shrink your vision to fit inside someone else's insecurities. You'll never again beg for support because you are the support. And when the world says, "Who do you think you are?" you'll smile, stand tall, and say, "I am the CEO of my future. I'm not here to take orders. I'm here to create them." From now on, when doubt creeps in, when laziness whispers, when fear tightens its grip, you don't negotiate. You don't entertain the noise. You go to work, you lead, you recommit. You have to be the standard before anyone else believes in the vision. No one will believe in you more than you do, and no one will out-discipline the person who's decided that maybe is not enough. So be relentless, be intentional, be bold. You don't get what you want, you get what you lead. And if no one's ever told you this, let me be the first. You're capable of more than you've ever imagined. Not because of luck, not because of connections, but because the fire in you wasn't meant to flicker. It was meant to blaze. But you've got to lead that fire. You've got to feed that fire. And you've got to protect that fire from every voice, every distraction, every excuse trying to put it out. The vision for your life is too important to outsource to fear. The dream in your heart is too sacred to delegate to comfort. So take the reins, take the chair, take the heat. Your life is not a side project. It's the headquarters of everything you'll ever create, give, love, become. And if you lead it right, the world won't just notice, the world will follow. So say it with me now. I am the CEO. I lead. I rise. I build. I decide. I invest. I repeat. Now get back in the boardroom. Your future is waiting. Let me ask you a question. What if the only thing standing between the life you want and the life you're settling for is how you talk to yourself? See, CEOs don't walk around with defeated language. They don't say, "I hope I can." They say, "I will find a way." They don't say, "I'm trying." They say, "I'm executing," because language is leadership. And when you speak with doubt, your brain listens like it's gospel. You want to start leading yourself like a CEO. Change the dialogue in your mind. Fire the inner critic. Promote the inner coach. Stop saying, "I can't keep going." Start saying, "This is what leveling up feels like." Stop saying it's too hard. Start saying, "This is the weight that makes me stronger." Stop saying, "I'm not ready." Start saying, "I'll become what's required." Let me tell you something. The version of you that's coming won't be built by comfort. It'll be built by fire, forged by consistency, defined by the days you wanted to quit but didn't. You've got to show up like the results are already yours, like your name is already on the door. like your breakthrough is already on the calendar. Because faith isn't passive, it's a discipline. It's saying, even if I can't see it yet, I'll act like I've already met it. That's how CEOs move. They don't just react, they respond, they move with intention. They ask better questions. Not why is this happening to me, but what is this teaching me? Not what do I feel like doing, but what will move the needle. You've got to stop operating from emotion and start operating from execution. Your feelings are real, but they are not final. You can't let them drive the car. You acknowledge them, thank them for showing up, and then get back to work. Listen, life is going to test your leadership every day. It's going to hit you with distractions, delay, rejection, and resistance. It's going to whisper, settle here. Play it safe, maybe next year. And that's when your inner CEO has to rise up and say, no, not now, not today. I've come too far. I've got work to do. You see, leadership isn't proven when everything goes right. Proven when everything doesn't, and you stay locked in anyway. You stay focused when it's quiet. You stay committed when it's cold. You stay humble when it's hot. Because every season teaches something, and a good CEO learns from everyone. There's a difference between being interested in growth and being committed to it. Interested means when it's convenient. Committed means no matter what. If you want next level life, you need next level loyalty to your habits, to your mindset, to your calling. Let me make this plain. Life is not waiting for you to get ready. Life is moving fast. The opportunity doesn't care about your feelings. The breakthrough doesn't care if you're tired. Your future doesn't care if you're scared. It only responds to action, to movement, to the one who shows up day after day with a made-up mind. So what's it going to be? You can keep wishing, or you can start leading. You can keep dreaming, or you can start building. You can keep praying for a change, or you can become the change, because the dream will not build itself. The life you want, it won't schedule itself. The respect you crave, it won't be handed out like flyers. It will be earned in the quiet, in the discipline, in the way you show up for you. Let me remind you, you are not waiting on a better season. The better season is waiting on a better you. So upgrade your environment. Rewire your mindset. Start thinking long term. Start asking bigger questions. Not what's easiest right now, but what's going to elevate me 12 months from now. Your calendar is your blueprint. Your habits are your investors. Your focus is your security system and your consistency. That's your CEO salary. And let's talk about your why for a moment. If your why is weak, your leadership will crumble. But when your why is deep, when it hits your chest like thunder, you'll work through pain. You'll say no to comfort. You'll stop caring who's watching and start caring who's depending on you to rise. And if no one's depending on you right now, guess what? You are. Your future self is begging you to wake up, to rise, to stop playing small just because it's easier than expansion. You don't get a legacy by accident. You build it, one focused morning at a time, one disciplined decision at a time, one uncomfortable conversation at a time. Lead yourself through boredom. Lead yourself through fatigue. Lead yourself through failure, because failure isn't final. When you're still leading, you will lose sometimes. You will doubt yourself. You will have days where everything looks blurry, but blur is not the same as blindness. Sometimes leadership means moving forward, even when the path is foggy, because clarity is earned in motion, not hesitation. You don't need to see the entire staircase. You just need to take the next step with courage. And listen, don't confuse leadership with loudness. You don't have to be flashy. You don't have to be on stage. You don't need thousands of followers. You just need alignment, integrity, and the kind of presence that says, I'm here, I'm locked in, and I'm not going anywhere. Real leaders don't just lead for applause. They lead because there's no other way to live. And if you've been playing below your potential, this is your sign to stop. You don't have to wait for New Year's. You don't need a Monday. You need a decision today, right now, in this moment. You are no longer going to be a passive observer of your own life. You are the CEO. And now let's talk about elevation. Because once you begin leading yourself with intention, the game changes. The air gets thinner, the conversations shift, the rooms look different. Elevation is not just about climbing higher. It's about carrying less fear, less doubt, less validation seeking. You don't rise with extra weight. You rise when you release. So if you want to go higher, ask yourself, what do I need to let go of? Is it the fear of failing, the addiction to approval, the need to control every outcome? Because CEOs understand something most people don't. You cannot control everything, but you can control how you lead through it. You can lead through failure with grace. You can lead through uncertainty with strength. You can lead through change with clarity. And the moment you stop seeing problems as punishments and start seeing them as proving grounds, you've stepped into another level of leadership. You've stopped reacting. You've started responding. You've moved from passive to powerful. And listen, leadership isn't just about getting things done. It's about getting the right things done. It's about focus, alignment, prioritization. A CEO doesn't check off boxes just to feel productive. They ask, does this task move the mission forward? If it doesn't, it gets cut. No guilt, no drama, just clarity. Because the currency of great leadership is not time, it's energy. Protect your energy like your future depends on it. Because it does. Don't spend it proving your worth to people committed to misunderstanding you. Don't waste it explaining your standards to people who benefit from your boundaries being broken. You've got a business to run, and that business is you. So if it costs your peace, your vision, your growth, it's too expensive. Walk away. That's not ego. That's leadership. Let's talk legacy now. Because a real CEO doesn't just think in days, they think in decades. They ask, when I'm gone, what remains? What systems? What impact? What blueprint did I leave behind? So I ask you, what will your leadership leave behind? Will your children inherit discipline? Will your community inherit courage? Will your story inspire others to rise? Because legacy isn't what you give to people, it's what you deposit in them through how you live. You're not just showing up for today, you're showing up for generations. That's real leadership. And yes, you'll be misunderstood. Yes, you'll lose people along the way. Yes, some doors will close and some seasons will break you. But don't you dare quit. Don't you dare shrink just because the heat gets heavy. Growth hurts, but regret hurts worse. So when your muscles ache from the work, when your spirit's tired from the climb, remind yourself, this pain is proof I'm building something that matters. And you are. You're building a mindset. You're building a movement. You're building a life that commands respect, not through noise, but through consistency. Because here's what no one tells you. The most dangerous version of you is not the loudest one. It's the one that's silent and focused. The one who doesn't argue, doesn't chase, doesn't beg, just builds every day, quietly, powerfully, unapologetically. So don't lose yourself in the noise of the world, the scrolls, the trends, the illusions of overnight success. That's not the path of a CEO. That's the path of the desperate. But you are not desperate. You are deliberate. You know that success is not an event. It's a pattern, a habit, a system, a ritual repeated until it becomes undeniable. So build your rituals. Guard your mornings, protect your peace, invest in your mind, lead like you've already seen the finish line, because your belief is the blueprint. If you can hold it in your mind, you can hold it in your hand, but that only happens when you own your role as the CEO of your life, fully, fiercely, faithfully. So from this moment forward, there are no more apologies for outgrowing environments, no more guilt for choosing peace over performance. No more explaining your evolution to people who stopped evolving. You are not for everyone. You are for legacy. And legacy leaders don't chase. They cultivate. They don't impress. They impact. They don't show up to fit in. They show up to shift atmospheres. So take your seat, not in the audience, not in the shadows, but at the head of the table. You are the CEO of your mind, of your spirit, of your choices, of your story, of your future. So lead like it and don't look back, because the old you the one who made excuses, waited for signs, begged for permission. They're no longer in charge. The new you, the real you, has stepped in, and now it's time to build. Now it's time to lead. Now it's time to rise. So set the tone, set the pace, set the standard, because once you lead yourself with conviction, the world will start following your example. And one day, when you look back at the mountain you climbed, the habits you built, the lives you changed, the person you became, you'll whisper one thing to yourself, not with pride, but with power. I led, I rose, I didn't fold, and I made this life mine. Now go, be the CEO, and never forget you are the business, you are the brand, you are the blueprint. Lead accordingly. Let's take it deeper, because leading yourself like a CEO isn't just about power, discipline, and grit. It's about alignment. It's about making sure that the outer success doesn't outpace your inner foundation. Because what's the point of building an empire if you lose yourself in the process? What's the point of leading the world if you can't lead your own soul? True CEOs, real ones, don't just focus on the what. They focus on the why and the who. Who am I becoming in this process? Who am I when no one's looking? Who am I when the lights turn off, when the followers go silent, when the applause fades? You see, the highest level of leadership is not achievement, it's authenticity. Because anybody can put on a mask, anybody can perform confidence, anybody can rehearse greatness for a moment. But real CEOs don't perform, they embody, they live it. When they speak, you feel it, not because they're loud, but because they've lived every word. And that's the next level for you. You've mastered the hustle, you've tasted the grind. Now it's time to walk in alignment, to stop chasing the spotlight and become the light, to stop hustling for validation and build from conviction, because what you build from wholeness will always outlast what you build from hustle. So ask yourself, what's fueling me right now? Fear or faith, scarcity or vision, impressing people or impacting purpose? Because you can't lead like a CEO if you're still trying to prove you belong. You already do. You're not an imposter. You're becoming. You're not too late. You're on time. You're not unqualified. You're unfolding. And every step you take in alignment with purpose strengthens your authority. Now hear this clearly. Leading yourself is not about having all the answers. It's about having the courage to ask better questions. Questions like, what am I tolerating that I wouldn't allow if I truly respected myself? Where have I outsourced my power and how do I reclaim it? What environments support my growth and which ones shrink me? What story am I still telling myself that no longer serves where I'm going? Because leadership isn't about control, it's about clarity. And once you see clearly, you don't beg anymore. You build, you bless, you become. Let's talk about pace for a moment, because in this world, people will rush you. Social media will rush you. The world will sell you timelines, blueprints, six-figure formulas, and you'll be tempted to feel behind, to chase, to compare, to panic. But CEOs don't compare their journey to companies in different industries with different products, different timelines, different legacies, and neither should you. You are your own industry. You are your own competition. You are your own rhythm. And the only timeline you need to honor is the one God assigned to your calling. You are not behind. You are becoming. So lead yourself at your own pace, but with unwavering purpose. Every day, ask yourself, what does my highest self require of me today? What would the CEO version of me say yes to? What would they say no to? What would they stop interning altogether? You've got to get crystal clear, because clarity makes leadership effortless. Confusion, on the other hand, is expensive. It costs energy. It costs peace. It delays destiny. Cut the confusion. Choose alignment. And let's not forget, great leadership creates leaders, not followers. So as you rise, don't just focus on results. Focus on replication. Who are you pouring into? Who are you teaching? Who are you empowering by the way you live? Because legacy leadership doesn't just ask, what can I build? It asks, what can I plant in others that outlives me? The way you speak, the way you carry yourself, the way you handle setbacks, it's a sermon. People are watching. not to judge, but to see what's possible. So show them what resilience looks like in real time. Show them what purpose looks like when it's not cute. Show them what leadership looks like in the silence, in the storm, in the struggle. Show them how to keep going by going first, because that's what CEOs do. They go first. They don't wait to feel ready. They move, they trust, they evolve. And when doubt shows up, they don't argue with it. They outwork it. They don't post about the process. They live the process. They don't seek pity. They seek power. And when they fall, they rise again and again and again. Not because it's easy, but because it's necessary. Because someone's counting on them. Someone's watching them. Someone's drawing strength from their leadership, even if they never say it out loud. And that's what you have to remember always. You are not just leading for you. You're leading for your bloodline. You're leading for your unborn children. You're leading for the version of you 5 years from now, the one who will stand tall, unrecognizable, whispering thank you to the person you're becoming right now. This version of you is not the end, it's the beginning. So don't tap out. Don't downgrade your goals to match your mood. Don't surrender your destiny for temporary relief. The fight you're in today is the training ground for the life you'll dominate tomorrow. So rise, lead, command your presence like your spirit is on a mission, because it is. And don't forget, leadership is not just it's a responsibility to speak truth when lies are louder, to walk tall when the weight is heavier, to stay rooted when the winds of doubt try to shake your foundation. This is the call. This is the charge. This is the moment. From this day forward, you don't just live. You live with vision, with fire, with legacy in your bones. And when they ask who you are, what you stand for, why you move the way you do, you'll look them dead in the eye, smile with peace in your chest, and say, I am the CEO of my mind, of my mission, of my miracle, and I lead like it every day. Now go, make your next move your most powerful one yet.